I love old tools. You should love old tools. However, oftentimes when they come to us, they need a little bit of help. Burn it. Haha, yay! This saw came into vintagetoolshop.com. I immediately fell in love with it. The handle is particularly gorgeous. It's got the split nuts. But the best thing is this stunning wooden blade protector, I suppose. It's the best I've ever seen. It's got a bit of a crack in it, sadly. But this brass section here is just utter genius. So yeah, in this video, we're going to restore a saw. Why not? Lighting. A Skillshare class that I took recently was Advanced Lighting, 3 ways to level up your product photography by Tabitha Park. It's one of these things that may not interest you right now, but at some point you're going to try and sell something. You're going to photograph it. You're going to need to light it properly. Me, I'm kind of selling myself in this lifestyle and stuff, and I'm constantly learning. This episode was sponsored by Skillshare, and they make this whole thing possible through their support, and I urge you to support them too. There are thousands of classes on their platform, ad-free, from lighting to design to CAD to basic accountancy, all of these things that are useful to me personally and to anybody looking to explore their creativity. And the best thing is that the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description below will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. What's to lose? Nothing. What's to gain? The world. Set aside some time. Brew up a nice coffee. Learn something. Skillshare. Onwards. Oh, I could do that all day. So the mahogany and brass cover has got a crack in it and is very, very dirty. The handle is nice and solid. And this has been protected very, very well over the years. And that is something to look for, really. Look at how gorgeous this is. So we're going to do, well, not too much, to be honest. Let's look at the blade. There we go. So, not much wrong here at all. Because the saw has always been in that protective case, we have got a good straight blade. It's relatively shiny, relatively smooth, not too much pitting, and that means that as you cut, it will work nicely once we've cleaned it up a bit. Okay, so this is a Spear & Jackson Dovetail saw. And we've got 18 to 20 TPI. The interesting thing is you can see where it's got deeper teeth cut every 7 or 8 teeth. And that's actually been done on purpose to help clear the sawdust. It's been very, very well done. First thing to do, if you have the capacity, is to remove this. There we go. Split nuts. So I need to push those through. Time for a hammer. Nearly there. There we go. What a beauty. Look at how delicate this is. So pretty. This tool has been well looked after, and part of that was that a former owner smothered it in grease when he wasn't working with it, which is a fair point. However, everything is now greasy. So let's get rid of that using isopropyl alcohol. Goggles, gloves. Now the point here is to just remove grease and debris without drastically affecting the patina of the handle. The age, the potentially dozens of different people who have loved and used this saw, although I suspect it's actually only one in this case. The history of what it has made, that is what makes a vintage tool such a lovely thing to own and to pass on eventually. And I don't want to remove that history. I just want to make it clean. I love how you've got a curve here, and then in this section it goes to a V shape. They just cared. Anyway, set that aside. I'm being careful not to put dirty bits back in the clean bottle. That would be silly. See what gunk I can get off here. I'm not putting pressure on the blade. When you're cleaning a blade, put it flat on a piece of wood with the back off the edge without bending or any of that nonsense. And that works. Some rust build-up on the steel back. Well, this is fun. I've just found underneath the handle, the steel back was originally blued. So that's, well, a beautiful heat blued kind of effect. This was a high-end, top quality saw when it was made, and it still is. This is a machinist scraper, flat on the edge. Now, sandpaper. If you are careful and don't go too coarse, sandpaper is actually a valid option for restoring tools. You don't want to add 80 grit scratches into something, but 240, 320, thereabouts is a very good and quick way to get rid of the surface rubbish that you don't want, and also not go too far. So very gently, using a luthier's tool, a leveling beam with 320 grit sandpaper on it, I'm going to clean up the rest of this blade and see where we end up. Again, blade flat on the workbench. I'm pushing between two good flat surfaces, also avoiding the teeth. We're getting there. Okay, so I don't want to make this look brand new. Guitar finishing oil. This is useful for both the handle that needs to be made more attractive, and for protecting the steel itself. It will cure eventually, or at least leave a thin layer of cured oil. And in this particular case, you saw that the rusted areas were underneath the handle. I want to protect the blade underneath the handle, so I'm going to put some oil on right away. It also, in 2 or 3 months, over a few months, develops a lovely patina. I like this bit. And that's all I need to do. I'm going to get a clean bit of tissue, wipe off the excess, and then leave it to dry for a bit. I'm just touching up an existing finish. I'm not trying to build up successive coats. On to my favourite bit. Very dirty mahogany. W. Shaw is the guy who owned this, and I suspect made this cover. His name is there on there, and it's also on the handle in a few places. Almost every single tool that you will find to restore will have white paint on it somewhere. It seems to be a universal law. Guitar finishing oil as well. This will also pick up some dirt. I'm not going to fix that crack. It's going to have all sorts of grease and nonsense in there. There's going to be no way, short of cleaning it out with peroxide or something like that, there's going to be no way for me to get a surface that will actually glue. It's just part of a story, part of the story of this tool. Wipe the excess off, and after a cup of coffee, I'm going to put this all back together. Not quite. Remember these? So again, with the split nuts, just carefully clean the excess, clean them on the leveling bin. Actually, I don't want to make them too shiny. Hold on. Medium fret polishing rubber. It'll do nicely. This really is a very, very simple process. The split nuts have a squared section which stops them from twisting when you install them, which is most useful. Now, don't just assume, because they are actually all custom. Yeah, I had that the wrong way around. Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, it could potentially do with a little bit of a sharpen. I'm not worried about that at this stage. It is just a gorgeous little saw. Now, I know many of you are watching this channel because you're into guitar building, you want to be a guitar builder, or you are already. And there is no making of guitars without knowing and loving tools. And a good source of tools is markets, estate sales, car boot sales and the like, where you can find something like you saw today and you can resurrect a tool that has not been used in 50 years. I'm biased. I would like you to go to vintagetoolshop.com, of course, if you want to skip a few steps, but doing this yourself is so intensely gratifying that it is my mission to get more of you doing just this. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please click like, subscribe. We will be back to normal guitar building nonsense forthwith. Have a great day. See you soon. Don't forget the live stream, Sunday evening on the side channel, Crimson Guitars Extras. Now for some beauty shots. Or have you been watching them already? Goodbye.